taken over and then whitewashed a little bit, rearranged, like orbitally rearranged monotopic elements or monotopic gold, but it has been rearranged and then moved around to where it suits those that have the information readily available to them at that moment, in place of those where the original information initiated from. So they changed it up a little bit, changed the faces, the scenes. Like I said, I don't know what happened with Squanto and all that. If they was really with whoever John something something and did those things, it was documented, but it's a lot. It's stuff documented that we come to find out 100 years later that really didn't happen the way we was thinking. You know what I mean? So the story has all the same qualities and storyline as the Last Supper, as well as the storyline of the Book of the Dead with Osar and Set. So, what does that have to do with giving thanks, and as well as giving thanks? Qigong, gong. That's a gong, not a gung. No, I just put that on there. But also, let me find my picture here. That's not it. When I find it, you'll know. Because I'll know. Hey, that's not it either. Where did it go? There it go. Alright. Last Supper. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so I'm gonna read this. Oh, video playback interrupted. Please try again. Live. What? Now what? Okay, let me see. Video playback interrupted. Is the volume still going? Oh my god. Did I not come back in streaming live on YouTube? It's going live. But the playback is saying no playback up here. Shit. Okay, there we go. It was saying that the playback was interrupted, so I switched up and came back on another window. Okay. Greetings, Sister Abby. Greetings, alignment in spirit. Good look. Um, get back into it. Forgive me or whatnot. I don't know, something going on. It's always something with Blog Talk was giving me issues, now YouTube giving me issues, but they say, when you climbing that hill, there's always gonna be some type of resistance. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Hey, things happen. All right. All right. So where were we? We were speaking on the Last Supper. Now I'm gonna read this real quick. This is a short, like, dissertation, if you will. I guess you could say it's entitled "Give Thanks," but it relates to what we're gonna speak about tonight. In general, with where this whole idea, this whole thing about giving thanks or Thanksgiving, this day of Thanksgiving, and everything comes from. All right, so give thanks. Having been endowed with the gift of discernment, I chose to research more holistically the holiday or holy day, Helios Day, Haru Day, Sunday, Light Dua, that we observe in America as Thanksgiving. Aware that most holidays are based on ancient rituals, repetitive observances, basically. Um, I asked myself, what then is the template for the westernized version of Thanksgiving? Right? Most dates, in particular when pertaining to the church, are all in conjunction with um, ancient Egyptian or Kemetic Tamarian ritualistic practices from time immemorial. It seems only fitting that this is where my research concluded. The Egyptian story Misnomenclature, the Book of the Dead by European Egyptologists, has all the elements of the westernized Thanksgiving as well as the biblical Last Supper. In other words, a conspiracy, feast, friends, and betrayal. To add these intriguing ingredients is the fact that on the 17th day of Atiri, November 25th, exactly 40 days after the 6th day of Pinep, that's October 17th, these are on the Kemetic calendar, um, 40 days after the 6th day of Pinep, October 7th, the allegorical impregnation of Isis, or Iset, with Osiris, Osar, seeds take place. In other words, the planting or burying of a seed, Osar, into Mother Earth, Iset. This event was upheld in ancient Egypt and coincided with special rituals to ensure a successful harvest. Oh, the other way. Hold up. Why does it? Okay, here we go. Sprouting new harvest and planting of seeds coincide with special rituals to ensure a successful harvest. The planting of the seed is analogous to the burial or death that imminently leads to resurrection of sprouting of a new harvest. On this date of November 27th, the Egyptians celebrate the event of the Last Supper and the death of Osar. Darkness overtakes light. In the form of the ancient Egyptian story Set, darkness and his 72 accomplices invite Osiris, Lord of the Perfect Darkness, to my computer is like getting small, getting big. The words. Hold up. That's what's up. I guess I needed to make them small. It sees to take place, in other words, the planting or burying of a seed into Mother Earth. This event was upheld in ancient Egypt and coincided with special rituals to ensure a successful harvest. The planting of the seed is analogous to a burial or death that imminently leads to resurrection or sprouting of a new harvest, sprouting of a new harvest. On this date of November 27th, the Egyptians celebrate the event of the Last Supper and the death of Osar. Darkness overtakes light. In the format of the ancient Egyptian story, Set, darkness, and his 72 accomplices inviting Osiris, Lord of the Perfect Darkness, to a feast where Osar is manipulated into laying in a makeshift coffin, at which time all those involved in the plot to usurp the throne ran over, slammed, and held the lid down, fastened it with nails and molten lead from the outside, and then carried the coffin to the Nile and sent it on its path to the Mediterranean Sea. This story, on one level, is allegorically speaking of environmental conditions that are produced when the Nile River recedes to a very low level and the once fertile land becomes dry and barren. The ancients gave the name Osir to all generative and life-producing substances of nature relating to moisture, and the name Set to all that is degenerative and antagonist to moisture. Can be viewed as Judas Iscariot, and Osar can be observed as Jesus Christ in the depiction of the biblical Last Supper. The Egyptian story outdates the biblical version by 3,500 years or more. In both instances, there is the gathering of friends at a dinner that eventually ends in deception and betrayal. Now you may ask how this corresponds to the Americanized ritualistic practice of Thanksgiving. Well, the dogmatic indoctrination of the Western standard of education and history in regards to Thanksgiving, we've been taught that the so-called Indians and the so-called Pilgrims sat down and had a feast together after the Pilgrims had been informed on how to hunt, grow crops, and live off the land proficiently by the so-called Indians. Further information, if one researches with due diligence, will uncover that the Pilgrims were actually seizing the land through acts of pillage and deception, then after it, holding great feasts in honor of their conquest. So here again, we have a feast, friends, and betrayal. Now take in consideration the dates observed as Osiris' death or the Last Supper. Darkness overtakes light. This date, November 25th, falls in line with the now fixed fourth Thursday or Thuezday, that's Tipz Day, of November being America's Day of Giving Thanks, which alternates between the 21st and the 28th, depending on the leap year. Alright, so give thanks, do our coup. going into that storyline of not just the Last Supper, but based on the Book of the Dead with Set and Osir. So we're looking at, like Set, darkness. Set being darkness also corresponds to cold or winter, right? So at this point, this juncture of the year, we're going from the warm season, hot season, if you will, to the cold season. So we're going from summer to into winter. Autumn is the transitional period from October into December. So December 21st, 22nd is the winter solstice. September 21st, 22nd is the autumnal equinox. So autumn begins, and then from that point to winter, to December 21st, 22nd, around the time, we go through the transition of getting colder and having less light. So as light dissipates, darkness overcomes or overtakes the light. Not to say that it becomes it's prominent, more powerful, or anything like that. It's just an observation that we made. Now, blow things out of proportion. We externalize things so much that we start to believe certain things are taking place externally. And remember, the mind has great power to influence our physical reality. So whatever we think can eventually become or be, even if it's not, so to speak, there physically yet, because it's there. It's in the mind, so it's there in the physical format in the mind. It just hasn't came through this portal to be in the physical here on this in this dimensional shift or this dimensional avenue that we are on. All right, but basically, we're looking at a time period that corresponds to November 28th, or in between the period of, hold up, what's going on right here? Oh, my bad. In between the periods of where is it? No wonder. November November 22nd, November 29th. This is when the sun passes through Scorpius. Scorpio is the sign of it's a sign of basically Scorpio begins when does Scorpio begin? October 23rd. Yeah, October 23rd, 22nd, Scorpio. And it rounds off about like the 21st of November. All right, so that's Scorpio. That's in astrology. But as far as the constellation is concerned, Scorpius is the constellation that is in representation of Scorpio, but it's not in consideration of what we're talking about tonight. The sun does not pass through Scorpio at that juncture of between. Actually, what's in Scorpio at that time in front of the Scorpio, in the sun at that time is Virgo and Libra at that period, October 23rd to 21st. The sun actually passes through Scorpius between November 22nd and November 29th. All right. So again, what does that got to do with anything and everything? Let me pull it back up right there. Excuse me. Pardon self. Oh. All right, so we got right here Scorpius and Orion, the great warrior, right? You know what I'm saying? That's the great warrior right there. But what Orion do? Orion got bit by Scorpius right there. Scorpius got the sting of what? Death. Yeah, but what is death also in relation to? Darkness. So what is Set? Darkness. So Set, being Scorpio, stings Orion with the sting of death. Locked him in a coffin and sent him up the Nile. You know what I'm saying? Happy. So this happy Haru Day, Dua, is really in correspondence to, I mean, basically, if you want to look at it like this, to what's going on in the stars as well as on the planetary level. At this juncture, on the planetary level, this is when again the Nile starts to recede and the inundation or the flooding starts to be lessened. So now we go into the giving thanks. Why we get all the harvest from the Nile and from the preceding months, and we gather them all together, and then we have a big old feast or whatever, and we put all that stuff together because it's about to get cold, and we store it. We store it up for the winter. You know what I'm saying? So that giving thanks, we would have a little moment, between that the 21st all the way up to the 29th of November, and we would back in the day, as far as ancestors is concerned, we would observe this that day. Today is actually the 28th, so this will be one of the days that it would have actually fell on from the 22nd to the 29th of November. So today, the 28th, it would have, today, tomorrow, yesterday, even the 22nd, I think that was Thanksgiving. But basically, that's in between that time is when the sun is passing through Scorpius, and they say Orion was bit by Scorpion, giving the sting of death. If you know the astrology, Scorpion is at the opposite end of the astrological chart, and Orion is on the far end of that. They're never together. But basically, Orion would be equivalent to Osiris, and Scorpion would be equivalent to Scorpius would be equivalent to Set. So Set stings Orion. Set stings Osiris with the sting of death. Set being winter stings moisture or rain and things that happen through the spring and summertime and things like that. Growth, vegetation stings the Osiris life, vegetation Geb with the sting of death, not dying but cold. So everything goes in. Naturally, what goes in? Blood. Blood is what life or light. Haru. So Haru Day, give thanks to the light, but that's that blood. But naturally, blood goes in as well at this time. But blood is fire, or is equivalent to um, summer energy and growth and fruition through the summer energy and spring energy. And then we're going through to autumn and back into winter or cold darkness that not really takes over the light, but basically, oh, okay. I appreciate that. Hopefully, everything back to normal on the visualizations. Um, all right. Oh, hopefully it is. All right, peace. So that's the above, as above, so below representation of what's going on cosmologically with Scorpius and Orion, and then what's going on earthly with the environment. Basically, the indonation is coming to a head, and vegetation is right there, kind of plump. So we go in, we get that cornucopia or whatever, the fruit of plenty, the horn of plenty. My bad. And we have a good old feast. But how does this relate to us, right? Um, as far as we are concerned, the give, the osir, the physical, or the the interpretation of what this intelligence is doing from the cosmological point of view, cosmos or happy, noon, or the subconscious, and the subconscious world or the underworld, or the we could call it all types of stuff, but basically, uh, shit, dark energy, dark matter, what I mean, just whatever we want to call it, the unknown, that is, slowly, some of it is known, some of it's unknown, some of it would never be known, like they say. Um, see, but that is the physical. I mean, that is the what we would say as far as corresponding on the earthly plane and cosmological, how they deal with that, how we deal with it in cosmology, in the correspondences. All right, but now we're going into how does this relate to me and you? What is, we look at certain things. Again, like I was saying, Haru is the blood. So the blood goes in the wintertime, right? So that's the light. Why is it going in? Because it's cold outside, And we're going to do some tips and tricks in a second, but basically, the blood goes in. So that's the fluids, that's moisture, that's osar, you know what I'm saying? And it's the darkness comes in and allows for certain energies to balance if properly organized and I guess you could say as we go through the transition of each 3 months or whatever these things are called, these seasonal changes, then certain things are going to happen with the physical body each month, each hour, second hour, all parts of our day to day, something's going on. Cellular structure, the anatomic structure, all that. So that's where the energies are coming in, breath through the breath, and interplaying with Haru or the blood, and with our physical body, the whole structure, physiologically and anatomically. But this, how it relates to us, is through. Just look at these words again. Set being darkness, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Osar being the Lord of the perfect darkness. Haru, light, also relates to the blood. But then you got Aset. Aset means the seat, the throne. And what does Set try to do? Set wants to overtake the throne. He wants Aset. Basically, that's what he really wants. Aset, he didn't care about all that power. He wanted the lady. He wanted that the goddess. He want what everybody wants, basically. And that's the goddess. That's that black womb. That's that. Well, we say black. That's that original state. You know what I mean? And it's that in that ignorance, we would do anything to manipulate others to go through whatever it is to get to that, to that, that the happy, the underworld, the twat, if you will. I say the power you know what I'm saying? It is very powerful. Don't y'all know it is powerful, but basically, I said is the seat, so or the throne. What another definitive of I said is kiss. So ast or ast, I said means kiss. What does the scorpion have? The kiss of death to Osir or Orion. All right, so Orion takes the kiss of death from Set. You know what I'm saying? And he so-called dies. You know what I'm saying? Put in the coffin and all that. Put into the Nile to the underworld. Floats through there. That DNA or whatever. The coffin dormant DNA floats through the subconscious state through the blood, dormant. Some of those gifts, some of those talents of Osar are not available due to the sleep state. After Set has usurped or taken advantage of Aset, the throne. All right. So now, Aset goes out, 14 pieces, all that, gets all the pieces back together, resurrects Osar, Haru, and all that, the blood. So in the blood, but basically what we'll get back to is we got Set, darkness, taking over the throne. The throne, physiologically speaking, I said, is the kidneys. The kidneys, right? So the kidneys, in relation to traditional Chinese medicine, in the seasonal pattern, relates to winter. See how all these things are interconnected. See, everything be all spilled down all over the place. I'm getting to the actions because I'm a man of action, but I want to go ahead and give you a brief overlay of what this stuff is because a lot of the information is all talk and no show, no action. So, and I'm a Gemini, so I like to communicate. It's hard for me sometimes not to. And sometimes I over communicate because, I just get off the subject or topic. I always try to bring it back, though, so just bring it back a little bit. But basically, we got a lot of information that comes out, but is it all suitable? It's you got mathematics and geometry. They say from any point A to point B, the quickest route of discovery will be a straight line. So you get point A to point B, bam. Instead of going from point A to point B with a, going all over with these curves here, curves there. Go straight to it. Let's get straight to it. The quickest route from one point to another point, mathematically speaking, is a straight line. So I'll go straight to it. I don't want to give y'all these other curveballs and stuff, try to make you see this that way, that way. So what's going on with this information basically is within, without, as below, so above. We have internal energies, the kidneys being the filtration system of the physical body. So it cleans out that darkness, that ignorance or whatever. We're putting in light, like holistic type of, that's WHOL, holistic, or WHOLE, whole foods, whole calories, not empty foods or empty calorie type foods, and not processed, but real stuff, as real as possible, whatever we call real. What I'm saying? But the energies that's within, like vegetables and fruits and things like that, grains and stuff like that, legumes, and root vegetables, those energies is what the animal goes eat. You know what I'm saying? So the animal eats those energies, and then we go eat the same animal, thinking that we're going to get almost whatever percent of the nutrients that's available from what the animal ate, that nature, or what some people call God, has actually put down, or Ra, the sunlight, has actually put down on the planet Earth for us to consume. So when we take in this animal, we got a whole nother step, or no, you know what I'm saying, that has been taken, because it went through the animal's digestive system to get to that cellular structure. So what are we really getting? If we ain't drinking the blood of that animal, we really ain't getting nothing. And I ain't no blood drinker, like, some. So what I do is I get the blood out of that fruit and that vegetable and those legumes or those beans and grains and stuff like that, as well as the root vegetables. So the kidneys, that's I said, right? So the kidneys is the seat of the essence. The essence is how we filter. Well, basically, again, the kidneys is how we filter out negativity or things that are unnecessary for, or not necessary for the body. All right, but then also is the essence, and that's what's giving life. That's what's producing the life that is present on this physical plane. That's through asha, or what we would call the kidneys in relation to our physiology. So asha and set, and then osar. Osar is equivalent to, again, the DNA, or the perfect state of darkness. Also, the pineal gland energy as it comes in from ray of Ra. Ra comes down, goes into the spot, goes in, gives light to the pineal gland region and sound. We absorb that with our sponge, melanin, and then it goes in that perfect state of darkness and realivens or wakes up Osar. You know what I'm saying? That light Haru going down in there wakes up Osar. So that darkness set, talking about like it's darkness, we don't have as much sunlight right now. You know what I'm saying? Daylight savings time, we fell back, fall, right? So now we don't have as much sunlight. That's set, or darkness. Then we're going into the winter and all that. It's cold. You know what I'm saying? The brother, through last couple weeks ago, he had mentioned he had mentioned electromagnetic meditations and building on that. I'm not gonna go into that much today, but yeah, electromagnetic, bio meaning life, electromagnetic energy. Bioelectromagnetic energy is equivalent to this energy that we are speaking on, as far as light and dark. Light and dark being I'm gonna get the notes. Light and dark being also yin and yang, and also electromagnetic being yin and yang, light and dark. We could say ignorance and knowing, but basically alkalizing and acidic. So the alkalizing effect of the water, moisture, or sur, and the acidic effect of the fire, torrid, hot, um, aspect or modality of set. So set comes through and dries up the water, freezes it over, whatever. And remember, we're gonna do some kidney exercises in a few. And if let me make sure, I'm gonna cut it off in an hour and then come back in, but due to how they had that 3 hour thing, I didn't have enough time to break it up last week, like to talk about. So when it get to that hour point, if I'm looking, if I'm noticing, I will cut it off and come back in. We at 30 right now, so we're good. All right. Exactly. Yeah, mother of Haru. And when we look at the word mother alone, muter, right? It's good observation, Amber. Muter means of the face of Mut, or the face of mother. Mut is basically regeneration. The symbol of Mut is a vulture, and the vulture is basically saying that it doesn't seek prey because it's a bird of prey. It doesn't seek to kill the prey, but it does have to feed its children. So in that, it sees the prey, it eats the prey, and it regenerates the energies within it, and feeds its children as well as itself. So it's regeneration. So it's the face of regeneration. So that's mother, yeah. So they have, like, yeah, you see it. And I didn't go into it, but yeah, that's basically what it is. I don't have this as a download. This is actually this is Tipz and Trikz Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? I used to do it on Blog Talk, but something going on with that audio over there as well. So I switched it over to live YouTube, and now I'm getting it done on here. Uh, I'm not even gonna repeat that one right there. Okay, that's what's up, peace. All right. Um, is the volume normal? I'm just reading some of the comments here. Good thanks. Um, but yes, this will be. You can download it off of YouTube. Get a YouTube download, and you can download it like that. Um, all right, where were we? Don't worry, where were we? Okay, yeah, Osir, Osir, and oh yeah, the acidic and alkalizing. The brother was talking about bioelectromagnetic energy. But bioelectromagnetic energy, if you ever notice, when we breathe in. Sometimes, like if you're doing calisthenics or running, and we're breathing, you'll notice you go. So what that is doing, I mean, basically, it's the huh is equivalent to the intake will be equivalent to the acidic breath. I mean the alkalizing breath, taking it in through the mouth. The ha is the acidic breath going in through the nose. When you breathe in through the nose, you'll notice that heat is being produced inside the throat and in the heart region and in the lungs. And when you breathe out the mouth or breathe in through the mouth, you'll feel that cool sensation. You hear going in, huh? Then that's releasing the toxins, the heart energy. That's the acidic um, representation of the sound. So hu, alkalizing, ha, acidic. When we when we're doing like the inner smile meditation, or when we are in martial arts, when we clear, we press down, we bring that energy down and out. We'll go through different scenarios, or basically visualizations within mind, and then we'll breathe out. And, all right, but that's like the yin and yang of the breath. The yin and yang of the breath is hu and ha, but the yin will be equivalent to The yin will be equivalent to the magnetic, and the yang will be equivalent to the electro or the electric. Electric being masculine, and the yin being feminine. Looking for something real quick. Oh, my bad. So the storyline, with most ancient um, rituals, they all have more than one meaning. And as I was saying, you got Scorpio stinging Orion, um, Osiris dies, Set stings Osiris, kiss of death, and then we go into the winter season, cold season. What's going on physically is, or in our physical structure, spiritually as well, we could say ignorance or darkness tries to overtake the kidneys by way of producing a fear reality externally. So as we take in the Set or Setian dark sun mentality, reality that's external to us, we tend to go into the fear mode, which is in relation to the negative emotion of the kidneys, the seat, I said. So this fear set or Setian mentality that's external, it needs to be louder. Oh boy. I'm working on it, family. Call itself. But this fear, being that is external, it can cause all type of obstructions. You know what I'm saying? Blockages through the usage of cortisol being introduced to the body, or the adrenals, pumping out these things, which is right above the kidneys, and pumping it down into the body and everything, getting in there and causing a lot of catastrophes within a physical structure. All right, but so that toxicity or whatever from fear is somewhat it is equivalent to Set or whatever going in there to usurp the throne. I said, all right, and then put Orion or Ashur into the sleep state or dead state by way of fear. False experiences appearing real, face everything and relax. You know what I mean? All right, so we got these things going on internally and externally. But this is the internal relation to what's happening with us. The fear of reality or whatever that is, you know what I'm saying? It ain't real. It's an illusion. Remember, it's an illusion. It's just what we are being introduced to, and then that's what we pretty much um, organize in our mental tank, and then we refocus that energy back out there with our magical abilities. Remember, we are magicians, but sometimes somebody can use their magic against us if they know how to, use it like that. And that somebody or whatever is going on right now, those sorcerers, warlocks, wizards, whatever we want to call them, witches, and all those different things or whatever, they are out there and they do have certain type of information that they are using against us in our unknownness. Some of us are, there's a lot of people out here that aren't at the level that we are, what I'm saying, as far as what we know and what we participate with. And we see them every day, like going through Thanksgiving, transition to Giving Thanks Day. And, I'm like, do y'all even know what's really happening today? And I ain't going to preach to them. I ain't no preacher like that to go and fuss at somebody for something they don't know, you know what I'm saying, just to make them even more upset. Now, we talk. I do build with everyone, but I'm not going to initiate the situation by going into it like that. I'm not going to start shooting off on people just because I got a loaded gun. You know what I'm saying? It is a weapon. Use it properly and choose your battles. You know what I'm saying? If you're presented with that situation, like if somebody asks you why you ain't eating certain things or whatever, let them know, this is what this is, you know what I'm saying? And that's what to do, you know what I mean? But as far as like just going into, oh, y'all worshiping, y'all don't even know what y'all doing. Nah, I don't go into nothing like that, personally. All right, but So we this external stuff, whatever, can cause the kidneys to malfunction a little bit, if you will. And when that takes place, we was talking about it last week. We got this muscle called the psoas muscle that makes the psoas, but the psoas muscle, also called the great muscle, the most powerful muscle, is connected to both hemispheres of the body. Basically, the upper, we say hemispheres, but the upper and lower parts of the body are connected to this. So when we have any type of pains or anything, it don't matter. If we sedentary or very athletic and active, if we have some type of pains in our back or legs or something, it could be due to the psoas muscle or the hip flexor muscle. Now, we looking at this hip flexor muscle. I'm gonna pull this up real quick. I keep saying real quick, you know what I mean? But everything we do goes through the hips, basically. So if we got a problem with that hip flexor, then we might have problems with our ordinarily, just health in general. Like everyday health might just be flawed a touch. And that is because of that muscle that we call the psoas muscle within the hip flexor. Well, the hip flexor. Oh boy. I don't have a mouse today. So these are a few ways that we may feel um, uneasiness within the hips. Might have joint pains in the legs. Well, it could be caused by um, tightness of the hip flexors. Nagging in our pain, nagging in our legs, walking with discomfort, hips locking up like that pop. Sometimes like, oh shit, I can't, or bad posture. We standing incorrectly. We got to lean over on something, and it makes us feel better. Or we stand a certain way with our legs or our hands are on our hip, pushing it a certain way. Trouble sleeping, can't sleep all the way through the night, sluggishness, fatigue through the day, not really feeling up to certain activities, high anxiety, what I'm saying, panicky, little stress, um, digestive problems, not being able to evacuate properly, compromised immune system, things, might get colds quicker, all types of things could generate circulatory issues, loss of sexual performance, lack of explosiveness in the gym, as well as oh, that's all of them right there. But lack of explosiveness in the gym, loss of sexual performance. So with men, what I'm saying, a lot of men wondering why they impotent or whatever and can't get the libido right. It may be due to the psoas muscle. Your psoas is making something else so. You know what I'm saying? But that's because of the positioning of the stomach. I'm just gonna go ahead. It's three things. Well, it's three things that really in our day to day the psoas can affect and cause problems to. And it's one thing in general that causes these three problems. And that one thing that everyone does every day is sit. So sitting can be the most harmful thing to danger our psoas muscle. It seems harmless, right? We just sitting, but even a runner or somebody that's athletic and does all types of basketball could have sore or tight psoas due to the amount of time they spend sitting in the chair all day. So weakness, shortening, and tightness develops in this muscle by sitting for a long period of time. And poor sleep posture and even stress and tension also will cause it to tighten up. But these are the three main ways that the psoas is affecting us detrimentally, physically, and as well as our emotional health. The bulging belly syndrome. Okay, let me pull this away from here. Shit. I'm looking for my mouse. There we go. All right, so that's the psoas muscle there again. Pull up this other one. as well. Um, all right, so that's a normal lumbar, normal psoas. As you can see, this is a shortened psoas muscle. See how it's in play where it is there is now causing the back to arc more. But that's the bulging belly syndrome. If you're wondering why our stomach sticks out, a little bit, even after somebody might be working out every day, losing weight, but they still got this little bulge right there at the bottom or something, it may be due to the psoas muscle part itself, a tight psoas muscle. So if we got lower back issues, or if you notice that your tummy is sticking out and there's a curve in your back, that is why the stomach is pushing out, because the curve in your back is pushing, well, not really the stomach, but basically the lower abdomen outward. When the psoas works properly, it pulls the abdomen back, tucking the tummy in and giving you a strong, flat abdomen. All right. So that Belgian belly syndrome is caused by a tightened, weakened psoas muscle. Also, a fat loss inhibitor. That's one thing. Fat loss inhibitor. As the body's fight or flight muscle, your psoas is deeply connected to our natural survival instinct. It instantly tightens in moments of danger to either protect you in a fetal position or help you run. So every time we tighten up with this fear stuff that's going on, let's get back to the topic. Every time we tighten up, we produce cortisol again. However, you know what I'm saying, if we're not needing that adrenaline and we get constantly tightening up the psoas muscle, it signals our body that we are always in a constant state of danger. That leads to an overworking of the adrenal glands, the seat, a set. And then after it overworks, what happens with that adrenal or with the cortisol and all those different hormones that are not being used, what happens to that? It automatically, well, the immune system suffers somewhat, because our body will automatically switch into fat storing mode in anticipation of danger. So we storing up this fat or this energy just in case some danger is coming. But since it ain't no danger there, it's just stored as unused energy. The anticipation was there, but there was no real imminent danger. So it was no use for the energy. It's sitting in it's sitting still in the fat or whatever you want to call it. It's still sitting right there at the cellular gateway, wanting to be utilized, but it ain't getting used, so it's just stored as fat and not used as adrenal or as the energy for whatever might have been taking place externally that was causing that type of fear or whatever. Watching something on TV, or I dropped my phone. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, my phone! No. But these things, can produce adrenal, and then if it's not used at that moment, then it's stored as fat, and then we wonder why we're not losing weight. It could be because of our emotions and certain things externally that could be altering our emotions as well. All right, so the third get back to it. The third activity, well, the third thing that is maybe causing us to well, by sitting, the third thing that sitting may be causing. The first one is again bulging belly. Third one, fat loss inhibitor. Watching TV, we're sitting there watching all these things, and maybe we need to get up and run around and instead, act like we're playing a football game, a basketball game. It might be do us a little bit more justice. But the third is a lack of sexual performance. Sitting all day causes our hips to become stuck in that forward position. So when it's in the forward position, this tends to lead the lower back toward is pulling, and it decreases the blood flow or the circulation to the hips and to our procreation vessel. All right, to the sexual organ. So what I mean is basically when we sitting down all day for a long period of time, again, what's happening is our hips are going forward. A lot of people, when we sit down, we lean forward or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Might be trying to get comfortable or whatever. And then, but basically, when our hips are going forward, this leads to pulling on the lower back. So with pulling on the lower back, it decreases the blood flow and the circulation to the hips as well as to our sexual organ. So lack of sexual performance. A lot of men, or and maybe even women, are wondering why they just can't get to that peak anymore. What's going on? Why? What happened to my level that I had? I want that back. We sitting down too much. We ain't getting enough blood flow through the physical body properly. Get up, get out, and get something. Don't spend all your time trying to get hot or whatever. I was just going to outcast a little bit. Gotta get up, get out, and get something. All right. So that could be one of those reasons that leads to those three issues. Sitting, what I'm saying, sitting too much. So we got to get up and move that psoas muscle. Stretch it, keep it strong. Don't be as sedentary as most Americans or what we call Americans today. All right. So that's the internal representation from my own perspective. Again, don't etch it in stone. I do a little research, but I also do a little meditation, and I listen to the ancestors a little bit. But actually, I listen, and it's a good attribute to learn listening. What I'm saying? Learning requires one to listen. I give thanks for you guys listening as well. And also, learning is not really like you're learning something new. Learning to me is remembering. What I'm saying? So, really, when I learn something, it's like, oh, yeah, I remember. I remember now. Remember. That means again, again, and member, basically mind or memory. So, to remind, to bring back a memory, again, memories, or bringing back something that was already there, that's remembering. But when in the learning process, is just really just submitting something to memory, something that's in our DNA that's flowing through the intelligence of breath or whatever, raw the intelligence, and step down. As it comes down, we get it as that information that's available, but yet still, like we're saying with the word Haru Day or Happy Holiday, Happy Haru Dua. These are ancient words that have different representations of past, that's past information, and so this energy of giving thanks, of Thanksgiving, is an ancient holiday that's presented to us now as something that was talking about Indians and pilgrims, but in reality, it's really talking about the passage of the sun through Scorpius through the 22nd of November to the 29th of November, and in that period of time will be myriads, or what we call festivals here today. These myriads are ancient ritualistic observations that our ancestors participated with in the past that would, so to speak, remember, it's all in the mind. So if you got 1,000 people saying a certain chant or whatever for rain to come, then you're going to get rain, you know what I'm saying? So that's how it is, you know what I mean? We are all interconnected. So if we got enough people or enough energy going towards one type of whatever item or object, physical thing, being a place, person, um, a thing, or an event, then that's what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? So Super Bowl coming up, everybody's mind all year. For the past, whatever, 70 years, I don't even, last year was like 51, something, 50, something like that. But for the whatever many years, every year we're thinking about Super Bowl. So as soon as this hyperbole or whatever comes up, we go right back into the ritual. So everyone is generating certain things in a cycle, a pattern, which is in our observation that will be a ritual. So every day we got the calendar, whatever. So I got to do this today at this hour. This is we observing that ritual on that day. Then But then we cycle all the way around to a year. We go right back to that thing. But like I was saying earlier, you want to get from point A to point B, use a straight line. That's mathematics, right? So the quickest way from here to there, will be the straight line. Bam, right there. Not going over here, not coming over, just bam, we there. That's the quickest route of discovery, from here to there. So to do that, basically we will want to go to the straight line of who we are here. So it's like in martial arts, they teach that the straight line path or the center line theory means basically right here. So we have these four quadrants: the upper left, upper right, the lower left, lower right, and then you have a cross section in between where these quadrants are as you flow in, or whatever, right? But this center line is also a straight line. But we go straight line straight into from point A to point B. The quickest way from here is to there. From here to to there, whatever's up is from here to there. So like if we're punching, you're punching circles. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of movement, telegraph. You want a hook, you come around with a hook. Yeah, you're circling. But if you come with like a quick jab or a straight, you can come straight in from your elbows, kidneys. I said out, right? But that straight line. Straight line is quicker. Straight line right here versus coming around. Less power here too. You got to generate force energy coming around in a circle. Right here, you're just going, and that's all. That's all it is. Straight line. All right. So that straight line A to B, 1, 2, 3. Straight line. Then we're going all over in circles and stuff like that. We're going from here to there, like that. That's the quickest route of discovery. So that again, when we're speaking on the 27th or the 22nd to the 29th of November, is that week of the passage of Scorpius, or the passage of the sun through Scorpius. So the Scorpius again, that's it, stinging Orion. Orion, kiss of death, Scorpion, or whatever. Orion dies, or whatever, all that. But basically, the Milky Way, that's also representing noon or happy. So Orion and all that, that's up there in the Milky Way, and Orion goes to the Milky Way, or now it floats around until Aset puts all the pieces back together and remembers through the dismembering, the cutting up into the 14 pieces, then remembers, puts the pieces back together through the learning process. So that learning, what I'm saying, and then giving thanks as well, dua, giving thanks in the learning process produces external manifestations. So, you got 1,000 people saying the same thing or thinking on the same mentalities or whatever. Then you have whatever event, whatever person, or like a child could be conceived. This man and woman, they come together and unite, and then they conceive a child physically. Same thing with our energies. We conceive different things externally, like in Tantra, man and woman come together, they utilize their energies. If you want, you can exert your energy, being a man, what I'm saying? But I found that the best way is to hold back, what I'm saying? Regenerate it and allow it to go into the spiritual, intelligent frame instead of the physical of what already is here, and allow the energy to go back out there by what I call obtaining, retaining, and cultivate. So we obtain the energy through certain like deep breathing practices, exercising, exercising, meditation, food we eat, and then we retain the information that's in the food we eat, the information in the intelligence through deep breathing exercises and all that by doing certain exercises, basically mindfulness exercises as well, and the myriads, like not reacting but responding, what I'm saying? And learning what the differences is. Reactions are normally like just something that's quick, like I'm gonna react to that, like right then. A response is sometimes more not as deliberate or blatant. Basically, it's something we'll marinate on and sit back and really contemplate on for a few moments. But that response, what I'm saying, that reply sometimes is not the same as a reaction. All right, but this whole scenario of energies, yin, yang, we want to call it darkness, light, everything is taking place within, and the giving thanks or happy horude, the subconscious will give thanks or give thanks to the light and the darkness. Don't just say, "Oh, give thanks to the light and give thanks to the dark." It's all the same. It's all one. Everything is zero, right? That's the wound. The wound is shaped like this. Zero. Oh, that's nothing. Zero. But that's this over here and this over there coming together as one. Okay. Left and right. You want to say, you know what I'm saying? But the meditation we're going to do tonight is forming the Merkaba. Done it before, maybe not sitting. I think the Qigong forming the Merkaba is what I performed and demonstrated online a couple of minutes back. Tonight we're going to do the sitting derivation, which is basically the same as just sitting. It's really nothing different about it. Make sure I'm going. I went through everything. And any questions, any comments? Let me check it out up here. Give thanks to Dua, you know what I mean? But so we're gonna meditate first. Like I said, tonight's class is gonna be structured similar to martial arts class. Like I said, I haven't been teaching that much here lately, martial arts and everything. But it's gonna be structured around the martial arts class. So the first thing we do in the class, which was again, I give thanks to the brother Coach K for instilling this in me, and his students is meditate. That's the first thing we do. He and oh, it's in the, before we get to that, I want to go into the give thanks. I did not, we have had some soldiers rise. Some people say fall, but I ain't gonna say it like that. But we've had some soldiers fall, whatever. But we had some stars to rise, in the past year or what, and everything, past few years. But basically, give thanks. Give thanks to all. Give thanks. I'm gonna go through a list real quick. I'm gonna give thanks to Prince Hutan Tupac Bey. Give thanks to Her Highness the Empress Verdashi Tiara Washington Ghost in El-Bey. And give thanks to the Grandmaster Senyata Saraswati. We give thanks to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, also known as Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali. Give thanks to Marcus Mosiah Garvey. We give thanks to Dr. Ben Jokanan. Give thanks to Benjamin Banneker. I'm going to give thanks to Sojourner Truth. Give thanks to Harriet Tubman. Giving thanks to Nat Turner. Giving thanks to Dr. John Henry Clark. Giving thanks to Frederick Douglass. Giving thanks to George Washington Carver. Give thanks to El Hajj Malik Shabazz. Give thanks to Amenhotep. Masu Musa. Give thanks also to Hannibal of Carthage. And the list goes on and on and on and on. But these are ancestors that paved the way and did some things, for us to be in the position that we are today. Even if it ain't where we physically see ourselves or mentally see ourselves physically. We are open, the doors are open, we just got to continue to walk through. Take what is ours. If you don't need it, like Bruce Lee say, disregard it. Take what's useful. Everything else, hey, is uncivilized. All right. So give thanks, The reason I was thinking about it, I was like, oh yeah, Coach K and then Grandmaster Senyata. But yeah, that meditation, that's the first thing we do is stretch the mind. So we stretch the mind first. So we're going to go through the forming the Merkaba meditation by way of mantra. The sound will be the mantra. Mudra, the hand position of the pyramid or the mystic pyramid, and Mandela, the Mandalay Bay. Now, Mandela being the symbol of the alchemical symbol that we have in front of us right now. Pour itself. It's my lunch right there. But this alchemical symbol that we're looking at, what we're seeing is, break down just a little bit. Sure, yeah, gotcha. I'm gonna look into that. Haru battle arts, you atoms. Get thanks. Most definitely, that's powerful. All right. So the alchemical symbol we're looking at right here, it has a couple of different. Some people, this is what I see. I ain't gonna say is, this is what the ancestors gave to me as a gift one day. But basically, if you put your hands up into the Mystic Pyramid or whatever, I, I'm gonna go to come back. I'm gonna come back to this, but this is so if we put our hands into the Mystic Pyramid like such, and it still be the same place right here. The thumbs will be a level with the nose, and we want to again focus our pineal gland region in the center of the Mystic Pyramid or the triangle that we're forming with our hands. So the hands will be placed. Let me scoot back a touch. Oh, yeah, I could just adjust this. So I can go back in place. All right, so the hands will be right here. We're gonna again locate our energy. Our focus will be right here at the focal point of the pineal gland into the center. So as we breathe in through the center, it will be a circle. So what? Go back. So the circle is in the center right there. And that's the smaller circle. All right, but that's the initiating of the black dot, if you will. It's right here at the center, inside of this Mystic Pyramid as we focus in on it. So that pyramid is on the outside of the circle, the first circle being the condensed or the contracted aspect of our energy coming in. All right, that's the inner circle. That's like the pineal gland, the energy coming into the pineal gland. You know what I'm saying? Then the physical, the four corners, that's the square. So we have the physical being formulated by the circle, the pineal gland. So the pineal gland takes in the energies by way of the triangle. The triangle, one, two, three, has these three different sides. Talking about the knower, the doer, the knower, the thinker, and the doer. Also, it's basically the energies of what we're speaking on knowledge, or one being the initiating or the original energy, two being the reflection or the energy, the original energy noticing itself, and then in its complications or opposition, if you will, number three or the third is the reconciliation or the unifications of that energy to formulate the physical reality, that four. So those three energies is the raw energy coming in by way of the portal of what we call a sun or solar deity right there. So those three energies, Ra, then Ra manifests into what we call Ma'at or Tahuti, wisdom, and then that wisdom then manifests over into um, Makut or Geb, the planet Earth, the doer. So as these energies are flowing and then coming in and manifesting or intertwining, they warp or they thread into the physical body by way of these seven chakras, if you will, which I call needles or the eye of the needle. So like the energy coming in through each eye of the needle threads around just like thread on the eye of a needle, forming all these different patterns or whatever until it's meshed together into a physical body by way of these seven different holes, which I really say is one, which is basically like that we was talking about on 108 or the infinite zero chakra, 108 breaths. Um, in meditation, and there's 108 different type of references. I'm not going to take a few minutes to get deeper into that, but so we got the The circle in the middle, that's the pineal gland taking in the energy. So we focus right there in the center, forming the physical body by way of that trigram. I mean the triangle, and that's also representing the Siriyantra. So the Siriyantra is forming the physical body. Basically, the Siriyantra is the physical body in a spiritual perception, if you will. We looking at this right here as the thing, but it's a geometrical type of, something that ain't even what we looking at is really who we are or what we are or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But basically, we got those three, and then the bigger circle on the out. That is the womb of creation. That is the all, or the all is mind. That's the great mind, the great void. That's the Wu Chi. That's the twat. That's that right there on on the expansion as it condenses or it contracts inward, then expands back out. Is coming the energies is coming in from that area outside, formulated, going from that point at the top of that peak right there, then spreading down into those three areas forming the physical body. But remember, as above, so below. So the first energy of the circle is equivalent to the top energy of the mind. The mind is all of it is all in all the same. Again, don't separate anything. That's that Setian mentality, trying to separate the water or the light from the dark, and causing complications and confusion and whatever when it's all the same. It's just basically what are we going to do through these transitions? You know, I have turned off. I've unplugged a little bit to a certain degree. There is a balance. Learn to what battles. Choose your battles. Know when to pull the gun out and have to unload, because you don't want to expend all your bullets and then you ain't got no more. It's an infinite amount, but basically you don't want to waste your energy on something that has no relevance. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it tight. All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the alchemical um, expression. Lead to gold. Yeah. Um, and it's funny you said that. This is it's not really, but it does. I checked out something called what is it? Damn, I can't even remember what it's called. Somebody put me on it, but basically it's garlic and gold. It's over in Hindustan, but they took cancer out of a person's body. The cancer is black. It's just like it's some type of cancer they had in their body. Then they put garlic up against the cancer, like they put it near the cancer. The cancer started running. It backed up. It actually, cancer's alive. It's a part of it. It's an organism, parasites. The cancer started moving away from the garlic, because garlic kills um, toxicity. Basically, it enhances the immune system, but it has all different type of qualities. It's an anti-inflammatory, blood mover, all type of good stuff. But this thing started moving away from it. This cancer, it was like 3-inch blob, what I'm saying, on this plate. But then they put gold to it. It actually was attracted to the gold. It went to the gold. So, to my understanding, what I'm seeing, understanding, is that we got a lot of people wearing gold today, even taking this amount of time ago. That's why I was saying that earlier. But amount of time ago and everything. But a lot of people was wearing gold and then wondering, I can't beat this cancer. Maybe it's the gold. I don't know. I mean, I just saw that and I'm like, so you telling me people that have gold on have a higher chance of not being cured if they wear that gold all the time or whatever. And even especially if they had like lung cancer or something like that, or skin cancer and it's on their hand and they wearing gold rings and stuff. But the cancer actually went towards the gold. But yeah, that was strange to me to see that and everything. But tonight, when the brother had mentioned that just now, he had yeah. But that is what alchemy is that's what alchemy is basically. It's the transportation of something lower into something higher. You know what I'm saying? So we're going through that that purification process as a whole. You know what I mean? From a physical perspective, as we're looking at it, it don't really seem like everybody going through that transition. But yes, everyone is going through it every day. Everybody on even the animals, yeah, the the trees, the grass, everything, the grain, everything is going through alchemy right now, a transition. And the planet Earth, which is alive, it's a living organism, just like the cancer. Everything is interconnected. Is also going through a transition. All right, so that's the symbol that you will visualize right here as we hold our hands in the Mystic Pyramid. So I'm gonna leave it up, but basically I'm gonna bring it back. Actually, I'm gonna speak to you and show you if you may not recall, you may not have went through this. Basically, we're going to start the meditation off like such. Find yourself comfortable wherever you are. You getting low half lotus, easy pose, or what they call the Indian pose. You know what I'm saying? Or you can put your legs down. If you're sitting in a chair, it's cool. However, just be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? There's no regulated way to meditate. If you're getting that breath in, get that breath in. You know what I'm saying? So if you're in the tub bath, you're on the toilet, or whatever the case. I don't know. Oh no, meditation on the toilet might cause you to shit more or something. Hey, which is a good thing. You want to get that out of there. All right, so relax the shoulders, tongues at the roof of the mouth behind the teeth. We're gonna sink the chest in a touch, lower back, where the pelvis, the coccyx region is gonna go forward just a touch, not forcing it to where you're sinking down too much. Just push it forward a little bit to connect the lower energies and bring those united with the upper energies, and to seal off the energies, we're gonna bring up the perineum, that soft spot right there in between the procreation vessel and the evacuation canal. I love to say that for some reason. It's just, I mean, it's just politically correct. I mean, I could say the other words, but then it'll just be out there. All right, so the procreation vessel and the evacuation canal, that soft spot right in between, bring that up on the inhalation. So we breathe in, tongues at the roof of the mouth, relax shoulders. So shoulders not up here like that. Try to relax them. Find your center. Breathe in through the nose. Make the abdomen large like the beach ball. Breathe out the nose. Make the abdomen go towards the spine deliberately. All right. So we breathe in. When we breathe in, we're going to bring our hands up very slowly over the apex of our cranium, and then down as we breathe out, right into the sternum region with the thumbs into that area. You don't have to touch it, but you can. Just to get used to it, it's unlocking the energies within the heart. It's uniting the lower and the upper as well. This is all in mind. You know what I'm saying? So you bring it in through the palms of your hands. Breathe in. The electromagnetic energy, left and right. And when you come in, my bad, breathe in, and then breathe down, and relax. Then we're gonna breathe in, and we're just going over the meditation. You can go through your own segue into the meditation. You could, me personally, I do the nutrition where the cycle comes 1, 2, 3. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I stay on that straight line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the exhalation. So I do that a few times as well as the vase breathing, what we went over last week. So here we've done that part of the meditation. Now we breathe in. Actually, my bad. I'm going to I'm doing 8 standing postures. So we're here. What I normally do is I breathe in again. After I did the meditation, then I come up. We come up. We bring in the Mr. Pyramid. It's gonna be right over the head, the apex of the brain. I'm looking at myself. What the heck? I don't look even. Anyway, don't look at myself. All right. All right. So when the hands are over the top of the head, the apex of the head, we're gonna breathe in, and we're gonna hold this breath throughout the chant, throughout the mudra. Again, the mudra is So we're gonna breathe in, hold the breath, and we're gonna split the mudra up into 3 phrases. A U. Well, the first one will be the complete AUM. It would be like um. The longest part of it would be the M, so it would be um. Then when we get to the heart region, the color here will be purple or violet. So the color here is purple. When we get to the heart region, the color is green, and the sound would just be ah. So it'd be ah, and it's gonna go down an octave. If we was here, we would oh like We go lower octave here. It would be at the heart region. Then we're going to invert the hands. We go to the root chakra. The color will be red, and the sound is So and at a lower octave from So and that'll be the longest part of the chant of the mudra. So it's oh, Do that once again. I think I went up an octave. Uh, um, oh, oh, oh. Is oh, Again, the tongue stays at the roof of the mouth. There's no exhalation throughout the chant. So well, ah, and will all be one breath. So take a deep breath as you commence the inhalation. Take a deep breath. Exhale. In heaven. Om. Om. So there's violet, green, and red. Ah, and While the symbol of the alchemical symbol is being utilized as the mandala. Mandala, not Mandalay, but the mandala. So the mandala symbol is basically again the alchemical symbol. So and then you may use it or not, it's the same thing as just putting your hands like this. It's a Siri yantra, everything, or just sitting there just doing it. You know what I'm saying? The symbol is just there for an external reference point. That's all. You know, it's already taking places everywhere. It's all in you. You know what I'm saying? As these, what we call nanodiamonds, it floats through the atmosphere and then goes to our think tank, our brain, or whatever, nanodiamonds. Nanodiamonds is basically carbon. You know what I'm saying? These nanodiamonds are in the shape of diamonds, basically, but pyramids. You know, interconnecting pyramids, Merkaba. So the Merkaba, you know, and you know, so you have a pyramid or a triangle of energy going up, That's the magnetic energy. Then you have a triangle of energy going down. That's electric energy, yin and yang, and also the alkalizing, acidic, or the hood, the high, as far as in the breath is concerned, the light and the dark, though. You know what I'm saying? The Scorpius, or whatever energy, and the Orion energy. But that's that. Those two different modalities coming back in as one in that nano diamond. That's that carbon um, molecule, if you will. But those ancient, or not ancient is like that, but basically it's those comets that fell down back in the day, it was a minute back, had a lot of different organisms on it, but basically carbon. But it, it's the structure of that carbon was found in nanodiamonds, and these nanodiamonds are is the infrastructure of life. And that's basically the backbone of life is carbon. All right, so all things that are in existence have some type of carbon base to it, or carbon energy. But then, but not to go deep into that as well, because we're gonna go. That's the meditation. Breathe in, really not really going over it. Breathe out here. As far as this is something that it's homework. You know what I'm saying? So this is forming the Merkaba by way of intent, of course, first, and then mudra. Mudra is the then by way of mandala, which would be, or mandala, my bad, there I go, mandala, which would be the symbol, and by way of mantra. I said mudra, and the mantra is the words. The mudra is the hand movements. This is the mudra. The mantra is the and the mandala is the actual. See that ritual that we was talking about on the, what was it, room 101. Yeah, yeah, Mandalay Bay. All right, my name is Mandalay Bay, Mandalay El-Bey. Yeah, okay. So right here, this again, um, intent, or forming a miracle bar with intent, mudra, mandala, and mantra. All right. So again, the mantra is the mandala is the symbol, the alchemical symbol, and the mudra, the hand symbol, is the mystic pyramid. So you A-U-M, ah, A-U, and You know what I'm saying? You do it 3 times, 6 times, 9 times, 18 million times. Yeah. The more you do it, you know what I'm saying, the easier it may be to access it. But really, once you do it, once you've done it a million times. You know what I'm saying? Because that means you're just remembering something you've already done a million times. You've already done this stuff. You know this stuff. You know this stuff. No. All right. All right. Hold up. So that was the meditation that we was gonna go over today. And I'm checking out some of the comments. Yeah, no doubt. Yes. Good question. Well, yeah. Um, do you breathe compression, then force Jing into the bones? Meaning, do I bring in the elaborate on what you mean by compression? And yes, I do bring the Jing into the bones. Well, you know what I'm saying. Um, intent over force. So always in some meditations, like in Gungs, we visualize the energy going through the body of the Jing. You know, so the Jing is the essence. So When the jing is going through the body, yes, you can move it to the bones just by way of thought. Because wherever we put this, that's where it's gonna go elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same as here. I've been sitting in the car because we're sitting in the car, and we in this box of radiation, and I get a pain, and I like, I ain't taking no medicine. I do this. I've been doing it for a few years too, and I just take that breath, and I won't tell my, I won't go into the mind and say go straight to this. I just say do what you gotta do. Basically, I go to the point of zero, then I breathe out, and I allow the energies to go to the body and remove whatever the blockage is at that moment. And I'm telling you, it works. The pain is just like sometimes that fast, within that moment. But yes, yeah, not really force the gene, but intent over matter. We don't want to, like I said, I don't really say go here, go there within the bones because it's Jing is a part of our essence, so it's a part of the marrow. You know what I'm saying? The blood, you know what I'm saying? The bone marrow, which where the red blood cells and the white blood cells originate from. So that being the template of our blood, the marrow is what is from the essence. You know what I'm saying? So we don't really have to put force into it, but we do have to put our mind or think, okay, this is what I want this to do. That flow through there, get these blockages out. You know what I'm saying? So, like with the physical reality, certain things may um, affect us and cause the blockages that's external because it's been forced upon us. So the intent basically means stretching. If we look up the word intent, it also has etymologically speaking, it has uh, um, it denotes stretching basically. But so when we stretch, that is our intent. We're broadening our horizons from whatever it may be that has been superimposed in front of us to something that is more powerful. All right. Yep. Yep. There you go. Right there. Yeah. Exactly. We're gonna do some qigongs next. So, well, first of all, yeah, qigongs. So there are different um, levels of qigong. There's, they say, four different types. You got medical, scholarly, martial, and the philosophical or enlightening type of qigong. I say all of them the same. I say all of them going to get the job done. But the enlightening type of qigong, negongs are basically for, there's like sitting qigongs, a lot of them, but some sets that are standing. But they're basically to enhance the internal energies for health, but also for other purposes like your psychic abilities, clairvoyance, clara vision, all clara sentient, what smell. I think that's what it is. But all those different type of clear things of being able to do those, have those abilities available and not having any type of problems with it can be obtained by the Niguns as well as the other ones. It might take longer because you're focusing more on that energy. It's like with the martial Qigong. But the martial Qigong, like the brother saying, yes, it brings about strength within the bones as well as the internal organs. So if we have stronger internal reality, then the stronger will be external. Like they say, there's three main fundamental, I guess you could say, training operations in martial arts. I'm going back to martial arts, but the three basic training um, tools in martial arts are speed, power, and technique. Speed, strength, and technique. Which one is the most important? This is why I ask, you know, people and students or whatever you want to call it, participants in the art of remembering. But which one is the most important? Speed. Get from here to there the fastest, point A to point B. Strength is gonna come. Eventually, technique will develop, but speed takes place by way of one thing: movement. You know what I'm saying? So in Tai Chi, we learn to move slow. First come slow, then come correct. So from this movement here to there, slowly, you know what I'm saying? Just brings about the movement faster from here to there. So from here to there. Oh, see, I done lost some of these by doing this, but from here to there. So if the object is there and I'm here, just by doing this slow, now I have gained elasticity in my muscle memory from this point to I can do this without even acknowledging or thinking. Sometimes I don't even want to go through it, but the more you activate those energies internally, it's easier to do things externally without your brain even being involved. It's crazy shit. It's weird, but it is you. You know what I'm saying? You could say it's crazy, it's weird, but it's a part of our day to day normal natural life if we had a normal natural life. But we dealing with a normal necessary type of activities like I gotta get the iPhone X. They skip 9? Why you gonna skip 9? Okay, so the iPhone X. All right, but so these energies or whatever are everywhere and in everything. But when we intake it, it does strengthen the bones. It strengthens the muscles and the organs and all that. So you'll be like, what they call superhuman or superheroes. And there we go with the X-Men thing. You know what I'm saying? That's why they try to block the essence, which is also representing the feminine energy, the X chromosome. X is the portal. It's a vortex. You got energy coming in, going in both ways. You know what I'm saying? So that's that Merkaba again. And as y'all know, they have tried to make this a patriarchal reality where the matriarch, the mother energy, is not as present and powerful as it should be. It should be a balance, equilibrium. It should be where, you know, if the shared power or shared wealth of all masculine and feminine. I mean, like I ain't talking about like we got a king and queen somewhere. Nah, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about is everyone on the planetary level or whatever, as far as humans is concerned, animals as well, whatever. Put us on a pedestal like to talk about, but basically we should be at an agreement to be able to do the same things. I mean, to the degree of whatever we are capable of doing it, as far as that whatever that thing is. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say every man can. Men ain't gonna have a physical baby like to talk about out of their womb. We don't have a womb in that manner, but we do have a physical baby out of this womb. So we should be holding and being able. We should have the same nurturing responsibilities that mother had, but we seem to neglect that and go, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. Let me read the newspaper. What you mean change the diaper, feed this baby? You know what I'm saying? When my babies, I was doing the same. My wife at the time was in school. She was in high school, so she went to school every day. I had to keep my sons. I had to make sure their diapers were changed. Whoever gonna do it, who gonna hold them, or whatever, give them their milk and stuff like that. I couldn't wait for the boogeyman to come in and do it. You know what I'm saying? So I was blasted at the time too. I was smoking more than a little bit. You know what I mean? And I was blow my little whatever and go hold my sons and make sure they was right and then go back outside, which was a major distraction too because I could have been spending more time. But anyway, but yeah, there should be a balance. But yeah, that's a good question, good observation and everything. And then that's the Gemini coming out in me right there too. You know what I'm saying? I was talking about earlier. But get thanks, Dua, praise. Let's get to these Chi Gung, and then we're gonna do some. Whoa! I just forgot something here real quick. I'm coming right back in. I'm gonna close out on this one, and then I'm coming right back. Like I said, I didn't want to go in 2 hours and 3 hours like normally, so I'm gonna close this, and I'll see you in a minute. Peace. Go. Okay. All right, should be back in now. Yes, indeed. Yeah, yeah, I'm back on that. Okay, get to the Chigunga. Oh no, the yoga. We're going to do the yoga first, and then do the Chigunga, the Chigunga for itself. Do some of the what we did last week. I'm gonna go over that one first, and then just the physical exercise, if you will, and then we're gonna go through the next three. Cause last week I don't know if you got the full view. I looked at it; it was all choppy. I'm gonna go through it in the right and exact format without the breaks and pauses, so that what we're doing, you'll see how I do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? You know, because when it's broken up like that, you don't really get a gist of the movement and the pattern of the actual um, with all the postures within the form of the yoga form, the semi-twilight. So we're gonna go through that real quick. Oh yeah, I've been sitting there for about an hour and a half. Cool. If it don't get you, make you stronger, right? All right, the yoga. Again, start with Nefertim. Nefertim again means complete, beautiful, complete, but we're in meditation. With the house of Neter, just like much of is the chatterbox. Basically, with the house of Neter, just like much of is talking, too much talking, overindulgence in it. So meditation allows us to relax and settle the mind, but allows the information to get in there properly. Because when we got a overabundant amount of thoughts or that dialogue that we have in our brain going on, then whatever's happening outside, it tends to absorb. We absorb it and it's in there. So if there's a lot of it in there, it's going to be harder for the real information to get in there, that light, that haru to get in there and balance with that darkness. So you know what I'm saying, the giving thanks. So when we go and we do like yoga and deep breathing exercises, all that, whatever, and we, stilling the mind. You know what I'm saying? We are basically stilling the thoughts. They ain't gonna stop. You gonna have random things come in there, flying in. I'm not gonna lie to anyone and say you're gonna be able to stop you thinking and have anything. You're gonna be thinking about thinking, right? It's just there. But the deeper you do go into the meditations, the less thoughts you will have. So eventually, just get to a point to where you're focusing on whatever it is, like the color. Oh yeah, but yeah, visualize the symbol as well, the mandala. So the mandala will be utilized with the color and the chant all at once. Yeah, you're right on point with that. Thank you for thanks for posing that question. All right, so here we come out of the meditation. We come up out of the meditation. Normally I'm facing that way, but I'm gonna face towards the camera. I have the mat here. Oh, let me fix it so you can see the changes to it. I have to move it. Let's see, we got you right there. Feet, no hands. Yes, that's good enough. So we go to the shoe plug pose, the complete breath. All right, the complete breath. We're gonna breathe in through the palms of your hand. Like I said, I ain't even gonna talk this time through. So I'm just gonna do it. So we got up. Matter of fact, hold up one more. Get some things jumping. Jumping. Yeah, the niggas that. super intelligent memory music. It has a good vibe to it. It helps with memory and everything. So it's all good. Just get some ambiance, get us in the mood for the deep breathing exercise. So first, relax. And I'm just gonna go through it without talking this time straight through. This is how I do it in the morning. Exhalation here. So we're breathing in. Hold the breath, form the mystic pyramid, look into it. Get up on the toes, holding the breath. Breathe out. And relax. Then I step forward. Normally, like I said, I'm going this way, so I'm gonna step forward to the mat, to where my feet are gonna be going to the corners of the wall at a 45-degree angle. Relax again. Relax into the knees. Relax your shoulders. Correct posture. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out as we come up. And continue to go down into the new pose. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out as you stretch deeper. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now bring the hands over as you breathe in. Form a pyramid. Breathe out as you place your hands down in front of you, in front of the feet. The hands will be right in front of the feet, like such. As you come down, form the pyramid. And you can see all the different pyramids within the structure of your body as you form these. It's Syriantra basically. It's everywhere. Fingertips, even at the corner of your fingernails, your eyelids, your nose. All these are basically triangles formulating what we would call pyramids or whatever. They're all over the place, like I said. Basically, you come down and you place these. You really can't see my feet right there, but you're gonna place them with the 45-degree angle of your feet. I'm sorry. I said I wasn't gonna do too much of that, but basically, be like that right here, right there. Now you see, right? You know what I mean? So you got as above, so below. You have your energies going from here, and energies here, and they connect. So you have the upper and the lower regions. Also, you're getting a good stretch in that psoas muscle, the upper and lower regions of the body, but it's the lower, upper energies connecting and uniting. Geb and Nuk, the earth and the sky. So we're here. Make sure it's back right. Yeah. Right. As much as possible. Here we go. I said I wasn't gonna break. Alright.
Then again, do 3 breaths in the front, do 3 breaths on the side. Put your hands as flat as possible. Ear at the opposite knee. So that's left ear at right knee. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, stretch. Now breathe in. Go to your left. Breathe in, right ear is at the left knee. Breathe out, stretch. Breathe in, breathe out, stretch. Breathe in, breathe out. Come back to center. This time the hands are going to be in front of the feet, like this, flat. Place your right foot back, head tilted upwards, right knee bent down, the left knee in line with the ankle, not over there, spine straight, back straight. Breathe in, stretch deeper into the hips. Breathing out, neck hard. Breathe in, make a large abdomen, breathe out. Stretch into it. Breathe in again. Breathe in, breathe out. Left foot up. Now we go into the pyramid pose, mountain pose, myriad. So chin is at the chest. Hands locked down. Elbows going outward, chin tucked in again. So we breathe in. So we're going to push against the floor. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. One more. Breathe out. Now breathe in. Then we go into, watch it. Pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in once again. Breathe out. Let go. Try to stay in line. Breathe in. No rigid movements. Try to keep everything fluid and in one motion. Very soft like. Three breaths again. Again, everything soft, slowly, controlled. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Really stretching the spine. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now breathe in. Bring the left foot back up. Form the pyramid, Mr. Pyramid. Breathe in. And bring the sun back up. Katadra. The sacred dung beetle. Place the sun back in the sky. And relax. Breathe in. And bring that energy back down to the heart. Go to give thanks. Okay, from there we go. We were standing, hands were here. So as the hands come down, we just automatically just sit. Go into a sitting position. Then the feet are gonna come straight, just come straight out, and you fold over. Fold, lay down into the asha. We're still in the creation process, going into the transition here. So the transition, we're on the boat where we were participating with the energies of Shu, Ra, and
Nuk and Geb. As Nuk and Geb unite by way of Ra energy, or unite as in their unification, they bring about the process of Ra. Well, the Ra energy bring about the process of the deities, the 8 deities, or the 8 primordial cells, basically. So those original 8 cells come by way of Ra, the light energy, or the solaric energy, comes down into mother, father energy, masculine, Geb and and Nuk, masculine and feminine energy. It then formulates into to the transition of awakening or resurrecting or soul. But first we're going to this stretch here. This stretch is we're going to be here. We're just going to bring in our right leg, breathe in, rotate, and we breathe out. Breathe in, rotate the opposite direction. Breathe in again, bring the thigh closer to the abdomen. Breathe in, bring the foot towards the head, and breathe out. Relax. Breathe in, move the foot out, stretch, breathing out, and relax. Now we'll move that foot down, that leg down, bring up the left leg. Breathe in, rotate, opposite direction. Breathe in, foot going to the back, relax. Breathe out. Breathe in, foot going forward, breathe out, and relax. Put that foot back down, that leg down. Now we bring up both legs, and we're going to open up as wide as we can. Breathe in, and bring the legs towards the hips, and the feet going back. Breathe out, relax. Breathe in, relax. One more. Rotate the ankles, opposite direction, and relax. Now bring the feet back together. Relax once again. Now this one, that's getting the legs ready, opening up that avenue, and bringing those energies towards the kidney energy, bringing it back up towards the kidneys. Right. Allowing that energy that's going down to come up. So now we're going to really bring about another exchange of that energy by going into what is called the candle by doing. So the candle pose is a little bit, it's not difficult like that, it's not that hard either. But basically you want to put your hands, the palm on the floor. Palms on the floor, place them under your buttocks. So we're here. Then you want to push up off the floor. And now we're in the candle. Hands will be at the small of your back. You want your legs to be as straight as possible. Toes pointed upward. Breathing in. This is good for the psoas as well. In a minute we'll see why. But this right here is a good detoxification because you're allowing all those toxins that are located in the lower part of the upper body, to move forward up towards the heart and towards the lungs, to where we can breathe them out and get them into the flow of circulation again in our digestive system, to where we can evacuate them out, evacuate those toxins out as well. So breathe in. Then we're going to breathe out. If possible, we're going to bring our left leg back towards our right, well, towards our face. We're going to stretch while keeping the right leg pointed up. Breathe in a couple times. Breathe out. And bring the foot back up. Breathe in, relax. And bring the right leg back. Go where you are with this, and if you have to, you can stop right here, bring your feet back down, like this, and rest.
Normally I don't, I go straight, but you can rest right here, take a couple breaths, then go back into it. Now try to open up as wide as possible. Close, breathe in. And we're going to bring our legs back into the wheelbarrow pose. Place your hands together. And you can see this is working on the psoas muscles. Again, working on all the muscles in the legs as well with this stretch. Toes. So you put pressure into the toes. Stretching the arms, biceps and triceps, the forearms, fingers. If you can, if you want, you can put in your hands this way until you get used to actually interlocking them and going this way. So breathe in, breathe out, stretch. Breathe in, breathe out, stretch. Now breathe in, and on the exhalation, come back up. More, and relax down, breathe out. All right. From there, we go into the shin pose. Shin is the circle. You know shin. So the shin pose, bring both feet towards you to the back bend. Basically bring both feet towards you. Then you're gonna place your hand here, right hand, then left hand here, and you're gonna mount up on your head. Just rest on your head. After you rest on your head, lift up. Breathe in. I do this 3 breaths. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Then on the exhalation on the way down, breathe in. And you come down very slowly. Breathing out. And relax. That shin, so you like Nuk Pa Neter. I am the cycle, I am immortal, I am infinite. And one prior to that was my net, my dove, that's the candle, so I am the candle. You are the light. So the third one is my jet. My jet is the boat of Ra, my jet Ra. So you put your hands, you're here, you're gonna place your hands, this time the palms are gonna be up under the buttocks. So palms up, go under the buttocks, and you're gonna lift up on the elbows, tilt the head back. As you tilt the head back, the head touches the ground, but don't touch to where you're on the ground, just touches the ground, just a touch. All right, so head touches the ground, breathe in, and on the exhalation, bend into your lower back. Bend more into your lower back on the exhalation. All right, so we're here. Hands go under the buttocks, lift up, head down, breathe in. Don't put any tension in the legs. The legs are relaxed. Breathe in. Let's breathe out. Breathe in. Really make the abdomen large. Breathe out. Allow them to go to the spine as much as possible. Breathe in again. And breathe out. Breathe in one more. And on the exhalation, relax. Then rise. And that's go through another 3.
another 3 postures within that form. All right, so those were the 3 new ones. That would be the candle, legs go upright, shin, or the candle is bandua, shin, and then manjet, the Boda Ra. Shin is the circle, the infinite circle of life, and the one before that was bandua, the candle. All right, so that's that light, that energy flowing in on the infinite circle by way of, or the infinite light, infinite energy flowing in by way of the Boda Ra, which would be basically the breath. You know what I'm saying? That's the vessel that the energies is rolling in through. That's that shin, basically, is rolling through on that Boda Ra. So then that's the primordial cell, the first cell. You know what I'm saying? Stem cells and all that good come out of that primordial cell. Splits from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, and then the multitude of the 76 trillion, 50, 2 trillion to 76 trillion cells within the body. Yeah, you get a little sweat, you get a little workout with the yoga, you do that junk, you know, it helps with all type of stuff. It's all around good, but get your muscles right externally, but the internal aspects in relation to like just telling yourself those things, those different commands those haikus or power words, um, really brings about an exchange of energy within you. Like I talk about is like saying Nuk Pa Shin or Shin. So you're saying that's who you are. That's what you are capable of. You are capable of the infinite cycle, and that's who you are basically already too. In your manifestation, you have manifested as who you are repeatedly. So that means you are immortal. We may not remember who or what we look like, who we were, or what we look like, but if you are on the same page right now, you basically look like who you did, what you did, or whatever 100, 200, 300 years ago, 100, 200, 300,000 years ago, 100, 200, 300 million years ago, because the strength of your molecular memory is always going to compose. I can say always, but it's going to compose because it's an infinite thing. It's going to compose back into that physical um, deity or entity, orb or whatever that holds that memory. You know, basically, you know what I'm saying. So if I came back as a tree, in my next life, I'm still gonna look like this. So I don't know. All right, but um, all right. So those are the 3 for this week. 3 of last week were where we opened up was in the 15, the meditation. That's first and foremost stretch the mind. Then this second one was after meditation is shoot the complete breath. Come in, toes stretch up. It gives a complete stretch to all the organs. Massage. It moves them. It pretty much dislodges the organs out of place and then puts them back in place. So that gives them some movement. You know what I'm saying? As we was speaking earlier, if you sit too much, no movement, energies get stagnant. You know what I'm saying? Feel it a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? Through the body, it might produce pain or something like that, or stinging, numbness. Stuff like that, vibration or whatever, some type of pinching pain, but or what it may not even hurt, but it's just there and we notice it, but that could be due to a blockage. And some of these activities will help reduce that. All right, so those were the stretches, but the third one after the shoe was the journey of Ra. So the journey of Ra coming from the 15, the beautiful, complete, the emptiness or whatever, the all, then shoot, the complete breath, what I'm saying, coming up, coming back down, moving the energies within the whole body, and then the journey of Ra, moving those energies that's within the body to selected areas of the body by way of the stretch. You know what I'm saying? So the hands, fingers, toes, all everything is getting the energy moved through there. You can use your mind, of course, and 10 over force to push the energy in there. Let it go through there. Breathe in. And when you breathe out, see it going through there as well. And know it's there. So that's Shooter, how he's doing, as well as Geb right here. We haven't got to a lot of the Geb poses, but we did one of them, a few of them a second ago with the stretches, the leg stretches. That's the modified version. That's where something like I said, I got the modified with the Washington Cemetery postures. And then there's Nuk right there at the top. So that Nuk position is the mirror or the mountain, the pyramid pose. And they all good. Not just symbols. They are some of them are actually exercises that we can participate with to skill the breath. Forgive me, going through something, looking for something. But now we're gonna go to the Qigong. Qigong we're going through today. I got a couple of them. What my time looking like? What it looking like over around there? Let's see what we got going on. I really don't like to have you because it's up to me. Damn, that thing say 2 hours and 13. I thought I switched it up. It came back in. Oh well, it's all good. Brother, that's a question that I have been contemplating on for a couple of days here. Russell Van Ruin, but it basically, I'm gonna reopen the door for the Washington Cemetery classes I was doing. I did one session online, 2016 this time, last year. Yeah, it started. Yeah, it did. It started like this week of last year. Matter of fact, it was. Yeah, it's the end of. It was right around Officious. So Officious starts with the 20. When is Officious? It's the 28th or 29th of November, all the way up to the 21st or the 18th, the 29th of November to the 18th of December. That's official. So yeah, we started around the same time last year. It ended on January 13th, or Friday the 13th of last year. Supposed to have been, though. So I'm gonna open up that door again. I'll let you know here soon. I'll probably announce it on the next opportunity that I have to come on as on live YouTube or on this segment of tips on the next segment of Tips and Tricks Tuesday. I announce the actual date. Give me a moment because I have some things I have prior engagements that I am taking care of right now. But yeah, there will be an online course that you can actually participate with. If we talk about prices, the price is $99.99 with Swift 100, but it's an 8-week course, so basically it's $10 a course for every Friday of that. If I'm gonna do it on Friday, it was Friday of last year, and I'm gonna be honest, it was nice, you know what I'm saying, it was good turnout and everything. Yet I don't think I went through it properly. I've settled down a little bit since. It was like I was jumping. It was my first class structure that I was able to teach some of the things that I've been gifted with. Give thanks, and I went through it thinking that I would get to the Tai Chi and the meditations and the Qigong, whatever, in the physical, but all I did was basically bring in the information verbally. But yeah, here soon I will put that together and we'll touch it. We'll get it back going. Get thanks. You gave me motivation. I appreciate that, brother. We all need motivation sometimes, you know. So give thanks to you. All right. So where were we? Let me back up. So the Chigunga for today. Qigong for today. We're going to do tapping. So tapping is going to enhance and move the energy through the body real good. So if we're having anything going on, like within the body's blocks again, this helps move those blocks. It also stimulates those that movement within the blood. So that plaque that's in the blood is like this hardened material that's lodged within the circulatory system that's too large to move through there properly. So it gets stuck. So this tapping these different areas, capillaries, will loosen up that plaque. It'll break it up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? To like if it was a rock, it'll break it down to sand to where it can be moved with the blood of the water or the water of the blood, the fluids, and help flush it on up out the body. You know what I'm saying? Get it up out of there. So drink water, stuff like that, alkalize. So it won't be any hard putrid type of material or residue left in there that's going to be still too hard for that plaque to move by. So get that water in there, push that stuff fiber, you know what I'm saying? Keep your fibers, diet, soluble foods, insoluble food, apples, My favorite thing is chia seeds. I do chia seeds, you know what I'm saying? It's very fibrous, it helps slow move that stuff out there, but it get up out of there. I know it get it out of there because the chia seeds be all up in the stool. Crazy shit. Okay, part self. Alright, so Qigong for today's tapping. And we're going to do another Qigong. These are going to be more on the martial side though, like what I was talking about, bringing energy to the bones, strengthening the bones, strengthening the muscles, but also the internal organs. And I got a little swift surprise for you in a second. So breathe in here. Bring the hands down. Sternum again. Relax. Rub the hands briskly. Then we're going to place our hands on the temples. The one part of our hands, we're going to place them on the temples. And we're going to stimulate the temples. Breathe in. Breathe out. Make the abdomen large like a beach ball. Relaxing the knees. Everything, posture still the same. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in 6 seconds. Breathe out 6 seconds. Do that 4 times, 8 times, 16 times, however many times you want to. On the last one, though, breathe in. Then breathe out. Bring your hands down. Then breathe back up. Breathe in the energy. Breathe out. Rub the hands back together. Get the palms very warm. Hold the breath. Holding the breath. Place them back on the temples. Warm hands. Now wash the face. Breathe in. Really cup the water. Cup the intelligence. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in as you gather the energy. Breathe in. Bring the blood down to the face, to the neck region. Breathe in one more.
breath, breathe out, and just wash the face. Bring the hands back down, float them down, and breathe in. Rubbing the hands together again. Now we're gonna lock our index finger and our index finger and our middle fingers together. We're going to place them on the back of our head, the medulla oblongata part. Cover our ears with our hands, palm of our hands. It's called beating the celestial drum. And we're going to place it right here and tap on the back part of our head. Breathe in, breathe out. Hands over the ears, breathe in. You can really hear your internal workings going on, your heart. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. One more, breathe in, breathe out. Float the hands down. I would have been standing this way too, not with my feet apart, but and float the hands down. So those are the only three we're going to do this week. So the first one is rub the hands together briskly, stimulate the temples. 4 breaths, 8 breaths. Bring the hands back down, breathe out. Gather the energy through the palms of the hands. Breathing in, hold the energy. Get to the sternum, solar plexus. Breathe in. Stimulate the blood in the hands. Place the hands back at the temples. Now bring the blood down to the throat region, breathing out. Washing the face, breathe in, breathe out. And now if you do the final one, you breathe out as the hands come down. Breathe in, breathe out. Rub your hands briskly. Breathing in. Cross the index and the middle finger, place one on the back of the head at the medulla oblongata area. Tap the celestial drum. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. This is also the mouth of God. So what you're doing is you're opening up the mouth of God, feeding it with your chopsticks right here, the intelligence. So that's going to eventually, again, enliven the DNA. Reawaken or resurrect, so to speak, Osar. And that's going to give you your, what we call, because this body, the body, they say this is where we learn to, we astral travel. Everything the Akashic records are located in that spot, is what they say. So you get a lot of your ancient data will start to be available to you by way of that practice. There's other things that you may could do to enhance that process and push it along a little faster too. And that would be changing certain things in your lifestyle. I look at things like that. It's just like that. It might just be me. But basically what I'm saying is, if I know something dead and it ain't got nothing in it, why I'm gonna put it in this life? Dead don't produce life. Not like I'm saying. What I mean is, I ain't gonna mount. Now we ain't going through the story line or whatever, but I'm not gonna mount on top of a dead woman that ain't got no life in her and think she gonna have a baby, unless some ookie wookie type of junk going on. You know what I'm saying? But basically, what I'm saying is, it's gonna take life to produce life. Light begets light. Light attracts light. So you put in that good, you're gonna get the good out. But not to overlook, that this is an illusion, but all illusions are based on, holograms are based on light, hologram, light message or light information, gram meaning a text. So light, haru, in text or words, same as Neter, metu meaning word, and netir meaning divine,
basically, but also, Neter, divine, also means sacred. But when you're looking at Metu Neter, Metu, word, you're also looking at book, Medu. So the holy book is the Bible, so to speak, that's what they say, but the holy book, Helio, but also Horu, Horu book. So Horu book could be equivalent to hologram because hologram is Horugram or Horu text. Horu text is Horu word, basically Horu book or light book. There again, hologram light book or holy book, Helios book or light text or the sun words, words from the sun, or words from the light. But basically, that light information is easily accessible when you have light in or you are light. You don't have a lot of excess. We don't have a lot of excess going on, or we're not deficient either. So there is a dynamic balance. There is in that yin and yang relationship of opposition, there is an agreement. There is a reconciliation. One and two to form that three, which inevitably will form the four. And what's 4 plus 4 is 8. So you look at a three, you put two threes together, one going the opposite direction, you got 8. That's 33. 33 lines, but I don't know what I'm looking at. 33 vertebrae. There go my blood lunch. I call this a little blood lunch. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner right here. Big green spiller. I got what I got in here: kale, couple of grapes. What else I put in here? And 2 apples, and of course water, and some agave because it was bland. It didn't have no taste. That kale, and that them green apples and Granny Smith weren't too good. Okay, now I did say we were gonna do some of the martial arts training. So the first thing we did was stretch the mind, meditate, then we did a little yoga stretching. Now we get the blood moving in the body. How we normally do in martial arts class to get the blood moving. Oh boy. We do a couple push-ups. I call them 50 in the clip. Now 75 in the clip. We're gonna do 50 in the clip tonight. 50 in the clip is 10 different type of push-ups. And if you can, do them. If you can't, don't. None of them are on the palms. They're all gonna be different. First set is 10 on the knuckles. So you get 10 on the knuckles, just rise up on your knuckles. Get you a good position, remember head up, back straight. You go this way too. So you're on your knuckles, head up, back straight. 1, 2, 3. Go down as far as you can. 4, 5. You don't want to kill yourself yet though. 7, 8, 9, 10. Then plank. Keep your back straight, head up. Try to plank for 10 seconds. Then come down. When you come down, come into your feet. This one, the first one, toes, be like that. That's how I do it. Stretch my toes and my ankles while I'm getting my push-ups in. Get the back straight. Sink down, but don't sink all the way down. Remember, keep your back straight. Pelvis going forward. The second one is fingertips. Now fingertips, you can start like this, flat. Thumbs be like that. Fingertips like that. You want to work your way up to where they like this though. That's the real fingertip push up. And it's all for reasons I go over. I guess I go over the 5 different applications of push ups, 50 in the clip. So fingertips in, rise up again, and we're gonna do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Straight back. on the fingertips. Come down. This time, flat. Put your feet down, your toes down flat. A root pose. Warrior. This way it's easy to jump right back up into anyway. The third one is diamonds. So put the hands like that. You can put them right here and then come straight down into it if you want. Back straight, head up. 10. Plank it for 10 seconds. This time, back on the toes. Take your breath, get your wind back. Got 10 more. Well, really 20. Relax. Pour yourself. See, that's what I thought. I'm talking and drinking. Belching. This one is from pyramid to back upon. I call these the healing wings. Get things Dr. Alim and Kadir, the healing wings push up. Every time I go to this, I always think about the healing wings. So these are going to be the back of the palms. What you're going to do is you're going to just put your palms down and do 10. Go towards your chest. Head up. And 10. Back straight. Head up. And relax. This time we're going back on the heels of the feet. Toes down. One more set. This one is wide on knuckles. So we just spread it wide on, go down into the knuckles. 10. And 10. Go back on balls of the feet. Take a couple breaths. Relax. And then just hop up. So that's 50 in the clip. The first one, knuckles. Second one, fingertips. Third one, pyramid or diamond. The fourth one, back of the hands. And the fifth one, wide arm. So that's 50 in the clip. Alright, so the wide arm, back of the hand, diamonds, fingertips, closed arm, 10 push-ups. So each one, different applications or different reasons that we're strengthening those parts of the bodies in martial arts. The first one, of course, knuckles, punch, you know what I'm saying? Strong punch, forearms, everything, back, you know what I'm saying, whatever, all that, you're stronger. And the movement, of course, is the necessary part for the speed. The second one is fingertips, so that's for like dragging, white crane, different tiger, you know what I'm saying, different techniques that's going to utilize not just the fingertips but also the palm, because you're strengthening your hand. Basically, yeah, pushes, grabs, holds like chinas and stuff. where you might come in and you might grab a hold or something like that. So stuff like that is that's going to strengthen that. Um, Third one is diamonds. Diamonds are for different things too. For one, it's push somebody off. It's also because you see this pushing up from the diamond. It also uses diamond in different ways of blocks and grabs. So you can block with the diamond. So if someone's throwing a initiating punch, you block with the diamond. Oh boy, need somebody to demonstrate with it. It's all good. But you will block with the diamond, and then manipulate or change it by sticking to what we call sticking and staying with whatever it is right there. You know what I'm saying? But that's a diamond. Then you got the back of the hand. Of course, back of the hand is just, you can go from a block to a strike with the back of the hand. You usually it's called a pretty lady wrist. Somebody grabs your wrist and you manipulate their energy, like they pull, but you manipulate their energy with your wrist, with your hand strength. You know what I'm saying? So that develops that as well. Also, the chop or the block from this point. Because I mean, just because you're using the hand, it don't mean it ain't strengthening other parts of your body. So that's what the back of the hand is doing. Alright, so bam, bam, alright. And then the last one was wide arm push up, so there's more elasticity right here. So if you had to move away and it's coming from different angles, you're moving this way or whatever, so you still have strength. This is also for internal energies as well, each one. So you got the push-ups right here, it's working kidneys more, heart energy as well, it's pumping. And then you go into the fingertips, that's getting all the viscera, all the organs pretty much. The kidneys getting a good pump and the heart and the lungs as well, but all the organs get one with the fingertips. Then you go into the diamond, heart energy, lung energy, right there. Then go to the back of the hands, same thing basically, but you're engaging on the liver more so right there. Your wide arm gonna be lungs, liver, spleen, because you're moving out more instead of being tighter in where the kidneys and heart and the lungs is, it's spreading it out more to the pancreas, spleen, gallbladder over here, and all that. So it's doing internal work as well. And then the different applications, don't get it twisted so much where you're doing like Qigong and you think about, this that opposition self is first. So what you're doing is you're warding off, you know what I'm saying? Like in Tai Chi, when I'm going through this position, I'm not just warding off, opposition is external coming from over there. What I'm doing is warding off those negative thoughts I've had, toxic information that I don't need, stuff that's just rampant, random junk that's going on in the this organic thing, this organic body right here. So ward off the negativity, and then cycle in, grab some good negativity. I mean good positive stuff, and then what you're not needing, push it away, pull in what you do need. Something else is coming in, man, you can block it, then you come out, roll back, empty space, push it away again. And something comes from over there, so you can utilize the I use Tai Chi for that, a lot, because we got so much going on. The breath work inside of it, and then you putting these, I done broke down and cried in the form before. I ain't gonna bullshit, I done got emotional in my Tai Chi form. Alright, so those push-ups are for those different type of those are for those applications, and punching, I guess, then you got fingertips, grabs, all that. Then you got diamond, push. Then you got palms, block, and strike with back of palm. Also, it helps with the knife hand, sword, with sword fingers as well, fingertips. Then you got, what was after that? Wide arm push-ups. water blocks, circle. Maybe want to come in under something coming around. All this type of stuff going on inside of that. It's nothing I could really sit here and tell you about as far as those activities are concerned. It has to be someone showing you, and then you need somebody to actually participate with to know what you're doing with the body. I mean, I could sit here all day and do something with the air, but I wouldn't know what it was if I got to opposition for real unless I was training with someone else. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to have you a partner that y'all can train together, female or male. And with those push-ups, if you're female and you don't feel comfortable with the upright, you can go into the universal unisex position with the knees down. It's up to you. You know what I'm saying? How you feel, or just break it down to 5. If you can't get but 2 fingertips or 1 fingertip, if you can get half of them, you know what I'm saying? That's working. That's you getting it to another level. The next time around, you get that whole 1. Next time around, you might get 5, and then build your strength up to 10. But don't sell yourself short, and don't quit just because you couldn't get but half of it. Don't say I can't do it, because that's what you ain't gonna be able to do it, because you keep telling yourself you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? So we only go as far as we go because of what we say to ourselves. So don't say you can't make it, because you already made it. You know what I'm saying? These words, this dialogue that we have is something not our own. You know what I'm saying? You made it because you are here. So keep it doing what it's doing, and you will see the outcome that you are wanting to achieve. All right, so about to shut it down. It's getting to that hour. It's like 10 o'clock. Did we go through everything? We touched down on the meditation. We talked about, so yeah, give thanks, getting still for everything and everyone and every possible conclusion to whatever is going on. Remember, we are the generators of the power. That's we are the power generator. You know what I mean? So whatever is happening is due to our energy. So let's give thanks to that, and then with that fact being known, let's build on getting this thing in pocket correct. You know what I'm saying? Versus what we're looking at. So somewhat. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it back right. Uh, okay. And hopefully, I'm saying hope again, everything was picked up properly. I'm gonna go back in and listen. I did receive those comments. Give thanks that some of this was well, the volume was somewhat low, right? So I'm gonna go back in and see what's up with that. Hopefully, I won't have to do too any adjustments, but if I do, I will. I don't know. This probably is on this end because I'm looking at the meter of the volume level or whatnot on the mic, and it is kind of low. Maybe, yeah, it's kind of low. I'm gonna go through some of these comments. Let's see before closing out. Greetings, Amber Vance. Greetings, sister. Alignment in spirit. Greetings. Greetings, Laura. Uh-huh. I don't know what that about. Greetings, Aaron. Okay, yep, no doubt. Amber, I hope the volume got well, at least a little better. Peace family, peace Leonard, peace family, peace Amber, peace Slim. Um 2001, peace. Once again, alignment, spirit, peace. Peace, sir, big head, no doubt. Peace, peace, JC. Yes, that's Hu and Ha. Hu is the alkalizing breath going in. Ha is the acidic breath going out. releasing the carbon dioxide, the toxins out of the body. The inner when the inner sound is hull, it can be subvocal or just inner sound. You don't have to really voice it. Just breathe it in. There's different meditations you can use that with as well. Peace. Your Adams creates chips. Oh, creates clips. Peace, brother. You can get it. You can get the video on. Go to Dr. Eileen's page. Through. Well, you're on it already, apparently. But just go to the videos, and you could probably get YouTube downloader, and just copy and paste the URL to your YouTube download, and you can download it directly to your computer. There's any video on YouTube as well. So get all Dr. Eileen's videos, brother Jamal's videos, brother Fahim's, get all the families and build. You know what I'm saying? Ship them around, copy them, share them. Do the thing. Peace Rasul, peace BP, and peace Vanetta. How you doing? All right. So again, we're getting into that 3-hour thing, but all in all, it's been a blast. I'm gonna get back at you in a couple of, like I say, but in a couple of days, I'll be back with you on Tipz and Trikz Tuesday, and we'll go back over 3 more postures within the Watch the Simmer twice. Dang, I forgot. It is one more. Well, it's sit-ups basically, but sit-ups I just do 2 or 3, because after the push-ups is a sit-up. But this is the way we do it. We do brick training or either weight. So with the bricks, and then I'm get up out of here. With the bricks, basically you just get 2 bricks, same thing, tiger claw. You want to roll it though, so when you come in, you roll it. It's going to help with forearms. So you breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. As it rolls, breathe out, breathe in. As it rolls up, breathe out, breathe in. As it rolls back, breathe out. You can do that as many times as you feel. The other one is with the weights. The reason I did Hard Day Tuesday today, just work out hard on Tuesdays and Sundays. With the weights, you get whatever size weights. Women, if you want 5, 10, 20, 30, whatever you can work with. Men, same thing. If you want 5, 10, 20, whatever you can work with. This is 20. I ain't doing too much. I did 40s. Yeah, you can do it, but after about 5, you might be looking up and you might think that thing might fall on your head. So I go where I'm at. So 20, same thing. You want to roll? Go slow. I do 10 slow and 10 fast. I usually do 50 to 100 of these, depending on the day's workout. If it's a hard day, I do 100. If it's 50, it's a regular day, I do 50. But just basically, you want to roll it. So right here, in exhalation, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathing out. Then on the 10th one, I hold it. You hold it here for 10 seconds. Then come up. Hold it here for 10 seconds while looking at the weights. And breathe in. And breathe out. 10 more. Alright. Oh. There's other brick exercises too, other weight type of training exercises for martial aspects. But that's that right there. Alright. So yep, that was the Tipz and Trikz Tuesday for this Tuesday. Pour itself. So I stopped talking. All right. So I see you again a couple of days, possibly. It's not a lie, so it's willing, right? All right. So stay on the shine. Let's not separate too much stuff like to talk about. Like talk about. There's no separations. I didn't like it when my mom and daddy separated, so I should, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, um, keep that unification going, within yourself, if nothing else, you know what I'm saying? Then everything else externally will pop off properly. Now, I ain't trying to see nothing beautiful like that to talk about, but not external like that, like utopia, but you do want it right here. That's where it starts. Everything start right here. I mean, we can hate all day. It's easy to do those things. It's very easy because everybody does it. It's similar to what's normal, and it's easy to do certain things. It's easy to pick up bad habits, is what they say. It's hard to put bad habits down. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to start something. It's hard to not do something, especially when we've become accustomed to. Just like I mean, even good habits, exercising. I mean, I pick my days, right? I pick days to do certain things. Sometimes I'll be like, well, I ain't gonna do no Tai Chi today, or I ain't gonna meditate, or I ain't gonna exercise. But that muscle memory is right there, like, you can do this, but it's time today, what you doing. So I'll be like, oh, I said I want to know. But the same thing with good habits. It's the same thing we form with bad habits. It's a muscle memory. It's just something that we become acquainted with, and we find that it's stimulating somebody. So we sometimes we might overindulge in that activity, and over exercise if that's the case. Some people might over exercise and hurt themselves, you know what I'm saying, or do certain things that may be okay, but do it so much in excess that it ends up doing. And I know for a fact because I done hurt myself trying going out in the winter, exercising out in the cold, trying to do tai chi and all this out in the cold, 20-degree weather, then go in the heat with all this sweat on, and next thing I know, I got a muscle that's pulled because the basically blood is hibernating again in the wintertime, but I didn't put so much blood out back into the pores that now it's it froze up, go back into this warm place, get back hot, breaks. It's just like glass. You put water in the glass, put it in the freezer, take that water glass out of the freezer, put it in a hot glass. I mean, a hot bowl of water or a hot pot of water. It's gonna break that glass. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the physical body, the heart. Like these young people going out, not hydrating properly, like football or practice outside or something, and their heart, the heart is all hot and everything. Then they go get this cold drink of water, flush it down to that hot heart, and then got a healthy heart explodes. You know what I'm saying? Because that cold and that heat hitting it at the same moment like that explodes. You know what I'm saying? So that's balance it out when it's necessary. I don't drink cold water because cold water slows metabolism down. Hot water speeds it up. So the best way to drink tea or anything like that, coffee, if you're gonna drink coffee, is to have it lukewarm, like room temperature, not too hot. If you're gonna drink something like soda or something like that, drink it fresh out the can, or not can, actually out the bottle or some glass bottle, preferably. If you're gonna drink soda, make it holistic soda with cane sugar and none of that other extra, going on, if possible. None of that high fructose corn syrup stuff. But basically, get your sodas in if you're gonna do it, but let's not do cold drinks too much. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it slows the metabolism down, so those fluids that need to be broken down, or those properties that need to be broken down, won't get there properly. All right, nighty night. Dua, give thanks, and peace. Hotel.
Scientific breakthroughs. Scientific breakthroughs, the unveilings, spiritual revelations, the openings. One, two. First World Order Radio, Tipz and Trikz Tuesdays. Black Water, the Meta Magician. It's Tipz and Trikz Tuesdays, another news day. North, east, west, south, not here to confuse the day, just diffuse the way. Another Tipz and Trikz Tuesday. That pig, that's fine. Hijacking the mind. Aluminum bonds with intelligence. Rewind the message. Merry Christmas. 13 indigenous immigrants. State of the unison. Addressing nothing. Foundations can ruin. Level to level. Fuck the embezzlements. Tales from the crypt. Hitting blood rituals. 50 scores flying over California vacation. Flying dragons. Swords and daggers. Lions and tigers. Gotta get my bearings or perish. Tear into raw flesh. Vampire, vegetarian. I'm a malnutrition. Chemically imbalanced. Ethiopian. Inhaling kush. Blue projects get pushed. Move with the bush. Standing on the middle line. No defining. Swirling dervish. In between space and time. Tipz and Trikz Tuesday. Another news day. North, east, west, south. Not here to confuse the day. Just diffuse the way. Another Tipz and Trikz Tuesday. Tipz and Trikz Tuesday. Another news day. North, east, west, south. Not here to confuse the day. Just diffuse the way. Another Tipz and Trikz Tuesday.
Whether you suffer from pain in your back to aches in your knees, come on down and purchase you some ancestral tea to get rid of all the parasites, toxins, and fleas. Spiritual elevation for cosmic gravitation. So put away the patience, cause there's no time to be wasted.